What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fanatically Speaking. I'm Kent.
I'm Log Off. I'm the Log Off legend. And we're here to say everything that every fan is thinking, but louder and probably a little crazier. Get ready. This is Fanatically Speaking with Kent and Log Off. You know what's funny? Like, I'm not a social media hater. I'm a social media hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that I get on the internet and start hating people on social media. That's not what I do.
The first half was absolutely horrible. You know, just inept offense, inept defense, special teams, you name it.
I'm going to turn into Oprah. Why were you so angry?
He sucks this season. This game, whatever's going on, right? And the very next pitch, guess what they do? They double homer, and he's like, "Told you, Dad. Why are you always knocking down people?"
You got the highs and the lows.
Yeah. So I do that.
You need the highs and the lows, and
so I do that. Yeah. But
I'm trying to be the voice of reason here.
I am what I am. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fanatically Speaking. I'm Kent, the co-host and promoter.
I am Log Off, the Log Off legend, the hater of social media. I'm the co-host and producer of the show.
And we got an end of the year episode today, and we're just going to go through the main three sports: football, basketball, baseball, and go through our top athlete player in key positions of each sport for the past year. So,
yeah,
like
just kind
said,
of our
from January to December, 2025.
Yeah, 2025. So just kind of our player of the year for each key position in sports. We're just gonna kind of try to fly through them and just give guys their flowers, because all these guys aren't going to win awards. All these guys are great, and we'll just pick kind of our reasons as to why we're going to pick them. And again, it goes from the very beginning, so everything that took place in January this year up until the very end of this year. And, we'll kind of see what we can do to have some fun with that.
Yep. And we'll start in the NFL.
Yep, good old pigskin. What position you want to start off with?
Man, we could start off hot with the quarterback, or we could let's start with the quarterback. Let's get it going.
We're going to go all in. Okay.
All in on the QB.
All right. Now mine, it's going to be difficult, man, because I'm one of these people that like to stick to my convictions, and I've made some picks and I've said some things, and I
want to see if you do.
Okay, so all right, you want me to lead off? I'll go.
Yes.
I am. I'm gonna keep my feet set on it, and I am gonna stick with my original pick that I said in one of our earliest podcasts ever that we recorded. I'm gonna pick a guy that is consistent. I'm going to pick a guy that is durable. I'm going to pick a guy that overperforms. I'm going to pick a guy that carries his team, gets his team wins. And I think anyone in the NFL, if I gave you the option to have him as your starting quarterback, no matter who your quarterback is right now, I think you would take him. Give me Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, the reigning MVP.
Reigning, defending MVP. And would you take all the other quarterbacks? And I know it's kind of unfair down year, but for some of the other quarterbacks. But I got to go with the guy. He is as consistent as he can be, and his team's not that great. And he's been carrying them all season. I think you can't tell me that his wide receivers are great. You can't tell me that his O-line is amazing. He doesn't have a great coach, not even in a great city. Great sports market, but just the city itself. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not flashy. You give people a map of New York and say, hey, find me Buffalo. They're not going to be able to do it. So, yeah, give me Josh Allen.
Okay. I could argue against that, but I'm not. I'm just going to let you have it.
No. Here's the thing. I want you to make your pick and then argue against it. Please, come on, man. Dude, this is a sports podcast. What the hell else you think we're going to do? Let's do it. Yeah, let's argue against it. I'll let you make your pick, though.
So this is not me being biased here. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. I mean,
Okay, hold on.
So-
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Now it is, and I hate to interrupt you. This is encompassing an entire year. In this year,
Yeah.
he won a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
performed
Yeah, I'm
at
counting-
an amazing level.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep.
I'll shut up now.
exactly. He performed in the playoffs. He won the Super Bowl MVP, and I don't know why they look at the like this current season as a bad year for him. Right? I believe he's at career highs in touchdown passes at 24. Only 6 interceptions. 4 came in one game. And that's at this moment, right? Season's not over. Got a few more games. But, yeah, so, he doesn't put up a lot of yards, and that's just the offense that they run, right?
Yeah.
Call it what you want. But he still performs and he still wins. He's now, as a starter in the NFL, not counting his rookie, his first year where he came in for Wentz and all that. As a starter, 5 years in as a starter, 5 playoff appearances, 5 winning records. Not too many quarterbacks do that. And you can talk about like Buffalo and what they have and don't have, and everybody wants to talk about the Eagles, what they have. It doesn't matter, right? You see teams that have talent, Dallas Cowboys, and they don't make the playoffs, right? They got all this talent on offense, 2 stud receivers, great running game, a really good quarterback, and they, so, and I'm talking about the Cowboys, yeah. So, I don't want to hear that, oh, well, he's got this and he's got this, and you still have to perform. At the end of the day, you still have to perform. We see teams all the time that don't. They have talent and they still don't perform. Again, Jalen Hurts knows how to win. It may not always be pretty. He does it his way. But at the end of the day, all year long, he's won. And 5 years now in a row, he will be going to the playoffs with a winning record. So
I'm not gonna knock you.
Guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna knock you, even though your pick is biased as hell, and you acknowledge that in the beginning. I'm gonna
It's
let you
not.
have it. It is biased as hell, dude. It's okay. No, it's all right. Like it's okay.
But if you're asking me, but if you're asking me, who's the best quarterback for the year?
Okay,
How can
fair
you not-
enough.
You can't. You got to go with the guy who won the Super Bowl MVP, and is making the playoffs again for his 5th straight year as a starter. And all he does is win and put up numbers. So
I'll concede that. Go ahead and torch Josh Allen. I'll give you a minute. Torch Josh Allen.
I'm not going to torch him. I'm just going to
Okay.
say Buffalo's better than people give them credit for. They do win, right? They do. I mean, all he does is make the playoffs. All he does is perform. He's always in the MVP conversation. Mm-hmm. So that's not a bad. Again, he's the MVP. I mean, and
Yes.
I'm never going to say Josh Allen's not a great quarterback. He's amazing, right? Broke Cam Newton's rushing record. Now there's talk of him and Hurts, both our picks, of breaking Emmitt Smith's touchdown record by the end of their career, which would be insanity that quarterbacks would break the rushing touchdown record.
Insane.
Just to even think about it, right? But he's an unbelievable athlete, and he does have talent. Like, James Cook's a good running back, right?
He
Like,
is,
he leads the NFL in rushing right now. They don't have the sexy names, right? Not at receiver. They used to. It was Stephon Diggs, and they ran him out of town, right?
Okay.
So, he caused issues because Josh Allen didn't get him the ball. Whatever, how receivers are. We know that. We know that kind of drama. But he's got pieces. He's got really good tight end. I mean, they're a good team, man. They win the AFC East every year.
Okay.
They're being battled this year with the Patriots, but they're a good team. So I don't think it's a bad pick. I don't. He is. I think when you compare the Bills name-wise against other teams, then you would say, oh, yeah, they don't have talent. They don't have this. But I think at the end of the day, they're always a solid team. They just can't get over the hump. And, maybe a conversation for another day. But as we said,
yeah, because they will make the playoffs. We can have a more in-depth discussion about it. I was just curious.
Yeah,
just curious your position on that. That's fair.
Like,
fair
not knocking
criticisms.
him. I'm just saying, like, I think the Bills are better than you give them credit for, and other people give them credit. because they do win.
Fair
They
enough.
just can't
And
get over the hump.
They
So,
do get wins. And yeah, let's
yeah,
do a Bills deep dive. We can do
Yeah.
that as we lead into the playoffs.
for sure.
Let's switch over to running backs. Your top running back of 2025. Give me a name. What you got?
Derrick Henry.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it's pretty easy. If we're talking about the whole year, the playoffs, he was still solid. He was still putting up numbers, and if you piggyback last year to this year, he's having another great season, back to back. And as we've learned, man, just give him the damn ball.
Got it. Yes.
And he will produce. He is a monster of a running back, and again, that's my guy. I mean, that's my pick. I'm not being biased on this one. It is that he is going back-to-back seasons, and if you just, like I said, if it kind of just runs in last season playoffs into this season as well, just look at his numbers, and he produces when he gets the ball.
Got it. Okay. No, that's a fair pick. I love King Henry, and as much as I wanted to pick him, as much as I wanted to pick him, when we brought up this topic, there was only one name that came to my mind when it came to like kind of the running back for the year. I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jonathan Taylor for the Colts because, and you'll sense a theme here with this, but the same thing with Josh Allen is Jonathan Taylor's consistent. And I know this is a 2025 year award, but for 2 consecutive years this guy's going to have over 300 carries, and he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Like that's insane. And this was a guy, and we talked about this before, who almost had to hold out just to get his money, just to get paid. The team didn't even want to pay him. And rarely, and especially in recent years, we rarely see guys who kind of are put in that position and then they go out and outperform what their contracts actually are paying them. So especially after like there's a lot of contention and there's a kind of a we should we pay this guy? Do we want to do this? And he did it. Plays every game. Doesn't fumble the ball a ton. Like it's just he's a nice solid running back. Can catch, can run, cut, break tackles. He can do it all, and I'm gonna stick with Taylor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick.
Yeah.
He is solid. I do remember the first of the season they thought he was going to like break Saquon's record, and that died out along with the Colts.
No, true. But even though the Colts have been slipping, that dude's still been holding his own, which is all he can do.
He's solid, man. He's obviously that's not a bad. That's a great pick. He's a solid running back in carrying that team.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's shift to the WRs. Let's go to these wide receivers, man. What you got?
You go first.
You want me to go? Okay, so
I want you to go.
All right, man. I'm just gonna go with the guy that I believe is the most elite, and it's just kind of I hate that word. I hate I hate elite. I hate when it comes to I hate like when they call somebody the GOAT when it's clear they're not the GOAT.
Okay.
But in terms of like the best wide receiver in the NFL to me is Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick him for a couple of reasons. He's got all the size, all the attributes that you need: size, speed, strength, athleticism. He can make crazy catches, great route runner, and the main thing is he's been able to do it. You're confident that he can do it with pretty much any quarterback that's competent at throwing the ball. And, his career has proven that. But this year alone, I like the way that he has been, the way that he goes out and plays the game. He's not a 6'5", 6'6" type player. But at 6'1", 6'2", he's almost a perfect type wide receiver that you can put anywhere on the field, and he's dynamic enough to make a big play at any second. And I'm gonna take JJ, man.
Okay. That's obviously not a bad pick. He is unbelievable. He should be a Philadelphia Eagle.
He should be.
And he normally plays with trash quarterbacks. So,
There you go. And for him to do that, and you know how hard that is.
To be, still. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. I like it. I'm going to go, again, if you told me to pick one guy, one receiver, probably outside of Justin Jefferson, that just does it every season. And there's again, I'm not going to name names because there's a couple guys I was looking at and they've had a couple good seasons here lately. It's a tough one. But if you ask me, I would say Jamar Chase.
Okay. All right.
I mean, consistent, produces. Obviously, Joe Burrow's normally hurt, so he's got different quarterbacks as well. Obviously, with Burrow, he's better, which all receivers are with a good quarterback. But, I mean, he gets open, he gets the ball. He's explosive, whatever else you want to call a wide receiver. I think he's right there with Justin Jefferson. I think those two, like I say, your pick, my pick.
1A, 1B.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, there's others that are really good, and they might put up some maybe better numbers. But again, if you wanted me to pick, if I want to start a team with a wide receiver, I would go with Jamar Chase.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't be mad with him either. And he's been putting up great numbers this year. And Joe Burrow's been out for a nice chunk of the year, and he's still been able to produce. So no, I absolutely, I'll give you that wholeheartedly.
Yes, his touchdowns are down, but again, he's still over 100 receptions. Closing in on 1,500 yards. Yeah, so he's still getting open. That's what I look at, man. And
yeah, no, I like it. Where you want to head next, man?
We're going to the other side. We're going to defense. We're going to pick one player on defense.
Okay. All right.
Be whatever you want.
Oh, damn. All right, so I only get one. Okay, this gives me anyone. I had a linebacker and I had a corner kind of in my sights. Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I am going to go with impact. And I'm going to pick a player that got a lot of flack for a lot of reasons. Some of it deserved. But I like someone who kind of earns that reputation for being a pain in the ass, whether it's for contracts or, locker room behavior, and then just goes out there, you know what? I'm just going to take my frustration out on the opposition on the field and prove everybody wrong. I gave this guy a lot of crap for being more focused on his podcast than his on field play. There was a lot of contract back and forth, and this dude ends up being traded from the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers and has an instant impact that up until his injury, everyone was saying this guy can lead this team to a Super Bowl because he's that dominant. Micah Parsons.
Nice.
Yeah, and
consistent,
and it's like
double-digit sacks. Yeah.
Yes, and I will say this too. He came in, and I mean, I think we all kind of, if you watched football, they worked him into the defense with limited snaps because he wasn't in perfect shape. Still didn't matter. Even when they were putting him out there 1 out of every 4 snaps, when he was on there, that O-line was horrified. And they would double and triple team him to try to stop him from getting off that corner and touching up their quarterbacks. So, yeah, I got to go with Micah, man. I was very impressed with him this year, and he showed out.
Yeah, I mean, one thing he does is get to the quarterback. There's always talk about his, defense in the running game, but who doesn't want a guy who gets to the quarterback double digits every single season that he's been in the league? Yeah. That is a rare feat. He is an amazing player and not a bad pick at all. And I'm going to go with the guy that definitely gets to the quarterback, and he plays on the trashiest of teams in the NFL. And he definitely earned his money. He chose money over winning, but he produces no matter what. And I think what's impressive about him definitely this season is, they added to the line, And, it doesn't matter who they add with him. And you would think, okay, or maybe lack of what's on the line with him, that you would just double him or what you would do, and teams still can't stop him. And it's Myles Garrett.
Yeah, and what's interesting? I love the contrast in our pick because I think it's fair. Myles Garrett is great. He will probably break the sack record. And I'm rooting for him to do it. He had a rough game this last week, but he I'm rooting for him to break the record. But I just love the contrasts in our pick where I think where one guy got more credit for it being an impact of winning football on the defensive side, and no matter how great Myles Garrett is, he can't buy them a win. He can't. All that money he made, he couldn't buy them wins if he tried.
Well, no, but they're also a horrible organization. I think they need a complete, that's another conversation. But again, they need a revamp of coaching staff and everything of their philosophy and mindset on building an offense and a winning culture there in Cleveland.
Yeah, I know, but the only thing that stopped me from taking Myles was the lack of winning. I know he's great, and I know he got that money, and it's gonna make it harder for them to be able to win games with him taking up that much of that their salary cap. But another conversation, another conversation for another day. But
that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah. But Micah, or Myles Garrett, is weird. Like I said, I could have went with a linebacker, but no, I'm confident with who I went with.
I really want Garrett to break it. Also with not on the last game of the season, because that's that extra game they've added, because TJ Watt did that to tie the record, and of course we all know Strahan got the record with Brett Favre just falling down. So let's get a legit sack record in there.
Look, man, it's not. Listen, he didn't want to get. Would you want to get hit by him? I don't want to get hit by Strahan.
But it always will look like he just took a dive.
It did.
And again, Brett Favre's got such good character that
Yeah. Oh yeah, fantastic character. Great role model. You don't want him to have your cell phone number so he can send pictures to you. But at the same time, it's like when you watch that replay of Strahan, and I've seen it so many times. And he just runs over and just touches him. He tags Brett Favre down for the sack record. It's sad.
He just falls down. He's just like, oh, I'm going to fall.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, yeah. And it's like, all right, tag. All right, yeah, I got the record. Okay, let's switch to the diamond.
All right, baseball.
Diamond. You lead off. No pun intended.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start with... Let's start with hitter.
Okay. All right. Now define hitter.
I think this is going to be like overall best hitter in baseball.
Okay.
So we're not even getting in positions yet, because when I get in positions, it's going to be a combination.
Okay.
So I'm going to just go best hitter in baseball.
Okay. 2025.
And I'm going to go. Yeah, and I'm gonna go Shohei Ohtani.
Okay, all right.
And I do this for a couple reasons.
All right.
Again, you can get into. There's other players that's got really good numbers and they hit big home runs and all this stuff. Ohtani does it all. And the biggest thing that I noticed this season was he was getting Barry Bonds treatment, especially in the playoffs, where they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna walk you.
We're not gonna take the chance.
We're not even pitching to you. Unless we absolutely have to, because you're at home. He was just so good during the playoffs at that one stretch, and of course throughout the season, every season he again we talk about him. We've talked about him before. 50 some home runs, batting around 300. He does it all, and again he is mainly a hitter. Right? We do know he's a DH. He doesn't play the field unless he pitches. So that's where I say he is the best hitter in baseball. Again, generational, once in a lifetime that we will see a player like this. And again, like I said, he gets that Barry Bonds treatment. When you get that Barry Bonds treatment where they don't want to pitch to you, and they will walk you consistently multiple times in a game, you are the best hitter in baseball.
Hard to argue that, and I'll piggyback off of something you said. When you talk about Shohei and how they would, walk him in the playoffs, it wasn't just because of a fear of him going yard on him. It was also because maybe there's a man on first, and they know that he's talented enough to hit that double and get that guy to third.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was always, you knew that he could make the hits that you need to make in the moment to keep them up at bat. And I wanted to go Shohei, but the phrase, as you say, chicks dig the long ball. So do I. I'm going with his honor. I'm going with Aaron Judge.
Okay.
And
yeah.
And I hate on the Yankees, for a lot of reasons, but his numbers are incredible. We know that he's a great hitter, but I mean, RBIs, home runs, plate presence, he's gigantic. I have to go with Aaron Judge just because I feel like he's more of a danger at the plate, even though he's not that versatile as a hitter. Like, he's mainly a home run hitter, but it's such an impactful stat that I couldn't overlook it. So yeah, I'll go with Aaron Judge.
Again, that's not again. There's no wrong answer. He's right there. He's the guy that's right there with Ohtani, and every single season, it's these two guys who are winning the MVP, and especially now they're in separate leagues. So now they both get to win every year instead of battling for the MVP.
Yes,
and they're the two best players in baseball.
Got it.
Which leads me to, let's just go right into outfield. Aaron Judge is my pick for outfielder. So, because, because he does play the field. And, of course, he is, ridiculous at the plate. Average homers are everything. Like you said, dangerous as anybody, especially in the regular season. He's just one of those guys that hasn't, they got to the World Series. And, there's always those. Baseball is that thing, like, you perform, and then what do you do in the playoffs? What do you do when you get to that next level? And he just hasn't done it yet. Crucial error a couple years ago in the World Series, dropping a fly ball. It is what it is. But again, yeah, he's my outfield pick. So
I am going to ditto everything you just said. He was my outfield pick too. And I know it's a redundant because I picked him as the hitter.
That's okay.
But no, I mean he, like you said, he's out there, and we know that he can feel. Like I said, he's gonna have those blunders. It happens historically. It happens even with great players. So I'll go with Aaron Judge. I'd rather have him out in the outfield over anybody.
Okay. Let's switch to infield, and again, this can be anybody who plays the infield. So. Any position outside of pitcher, because that's going to be a separate.
Okay.
This season, if we're going this season, it's going to be tough not to go with Cal Raleigh.
Damn it! You took mine again.
That's okay.
Go
because
go.
And
go.
I'll give you another name.
No. Go on Cal Raleigh because I'm curious on your angle on him. But go ahead.
And again, a lot of people wanted him to be the MVP. I did not, because I don't think you can win MVP batting .247 when Aaron Judge was batting .331.
Okay.
That's just too big of a disparity, right? You can't say, well, he was, and the big thing is he plays catcher.
Yes.
And a catcher hitting 60 home runs.
Yes.
He hit that magical number, 60 home runs, playing in Seattle. And again, he was really, like, he could have been our pick for hitter. You know what I mean? Like, he had a really good year, but that 247 batting average.
Yes.
That's the stuff I can't look past that if you're looking for being the best and being like MVP level, things like that. I can say he had one of the greatest, seasons for a catcher, if not the greatest. Again, being a switch hitter also helps. So, he broke a lot of records, but I'll give him the infield, Catcher's a key piece to that infield, obviously. And him doing it at the plate as well, kudos to him. I'm going to give him my infield award.
Got it. And same for me, echoing everything that you just said. But the main reason for me is that it was a breakout year of a breakout. It came out of nowhere, man. No one saw.
Really did.
No one saw that coming. I mean, like just, and he'd been a consistent player, since he came into the league. So he was playing games. He was getting the reps. The batting average, a little disappointing, but still impressive for him to stay at it and still hit 60 home runs, 125 RBIs. And we don't see this from catchers. I feel like it's only appropriate to give him these flowers this year because it may not happen like this again. And it's going to be hard for him to supersede this year. So I just want to give him that credit this year while he's earned it, because he did earn it. And and I think that's fair to do.
All right, we move on to pitcher, and I got two names, and I got to make a decision.
What you got,
but
man?
I'm gonna
go. Who you got?
I'm gonna stay with the guy who's done it back-to-back years, Cy Young, and that's Tariq Skubal of the Detroit Tigers.
Okay.
Again, he's been the consistent guy 2 years in a row, so I'm giving him that. Again, have a good year and then back it up with another good year. You can't go wrong with him, and I think he's a key reason why Detroit's had their resurgence of being a good team. If you got that one ace pitcher, man, it makes a huge difference in baseball, especially if you can get to the playoffs. You really need one. It helps to have a couple, but Detroit's got them an ace, and time will tell if they're going to pay him or he'll get to go, to the big markets. How baseball, we see that happen all the time. But Tariq Skubal, that's my pick.
Okay, you went with a purist's pick on that, and I can't fault you for it. I have to take Shohei, and the only reason I have to take him is because we know that if he just pitched, he would still be a top 3 pitcher in the league. Is that fair to say?
Oh,
if he was just pitching, right?
And again, this season he came off injury, so anything he did, but again, he is. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
If he's just pitching, he is a top 3 pitcher.
Top 3 pitcher. Even if you want to go top 5, like he's in the running for the Cy Young.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely top 5.
So the only reason I'm going to take him is because you get everything else that comes along with him.
Right.
And that's it. I can't take anything. I can't take anything away from Skubal. Like I understand what you're saying, but just knowing that having Shohei on my roster, I know all the other benefits that I get from him. And it's like being with a beautiful, gorgeous woman, and she's intelligent. I'll take her. Just give me. I'll take it all. She's got the full package. That's Shohei,
and she can cook.
and she and she keep the house clean. Wow. But it is what it is. But no, give me Shohei, man. And again, we already know. We know how great he is, but that would be the only other reason I'd take him.
Okay. I like you don't think about that part when you're thinking about pitcher.
I agree. You're a purist.
Pitching.
You're more of a baseball purist than I am, and I respect that.
And you took the batting with it, and that's a great way to look at it. All right, so now we are done with baseball, and we are going to move on to basketball. Basketball, and we're gonna
rubbing my hands together, motherfucker. Let's go.
And we're gonna hit guard, forward, center.
Okay, yeah. Now we're not gonna do point guard, shooting guard. We're gonna just do guard.
No, just guard.
And the same thing for forward. We're not gonna do small forward, power forward, just forward, and then we'll do center.
Yep.
So, you gonna make me go first?
Yeah, I'll let you.
So out of every position in all of sports, I think guard is the deepest. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care if you're talking every position in football, baseball, basketball. Guard play, I think it's the deepest when it comes to you just being able to pick the greatest or the best player for the year 2025 by position. And I don't like this particular player's style of play. But my metric is someone that I know what I'm going to get out of them. And they never disappoint me when it comes to me getting that from them. And that's been consistent with every single pick that I made. I got to go with SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City Thunder. And there was somebody else I wanted to go with, just a little too inconsistent for me. But SGA, clearly they won the championship. Clearly they're playing well, into this year, even though it's early. Even though they've hit a bumpy, stretch recently, but
the Spurs bump,
the Wemby bump. But I gotta go with SGA, man. He can do it all: mid-range, shoot threes, passing, getting his teammates involved, making his free throws. The drawing the fouls is a little bit of a for me, but at the same time, that takes a level of skill, and I know it's coming. And if you're late in the game and the game is close and you need that guy to draw a foul for you, he's going to do it and then go to the line, make those free throws, give you the ball back, and then make you come back down and beat him, going with SGA.
Yeah, that's my pick too. I mean, I don't think you can go against the MVP championship winning guard and still putting up over 30 a game and still leading the top team in the NBA.
Yeah, and
so everything you said on top of that with I mean, again, it's just, we've talked about him before. He was on my nice list for Christmas. I mean, he's got the whole package, really.
Yeah.
And I think they can keep pushing him as the face of the league. More commercials, more exposure.
He needs more personality too.
He needs a little, but again,
he needs a scandal.
Well, we don't want that.
He needs something to where everyone goes, scandal. Wait, what's his name? Like, that's what he needs. He needs something that thrusts him into the national spotlight. His play is great, and basketball should speak for itself. But come on, man, it's 2025. There's a lot of stuff going on. He's got to do something to shake things up a little bit.
I think what would help him is, like, last year he won the title, but they beat Indiana.
Okay,
it's like you got to beat like the Knicks, Boston. Well, a good Boston.
No, I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. But you got to beat.
Like the Knicks are good this year. So if the Knicks would make it and you get that New York spotlight, maybe it gets a little more eyes on the NBA and on SGA.
Okay. All right. Forwards. Who do you have? And I have to admit this to you. I'm looking at who they classify as forwards, and it's kind of bothering me because I feel like it's a lot of centers on this list that they just call in forwards. But let's see. I'll say this. I'm gonna pick a traditional forward. I'm not going over who they telling me is a forward, but they're just way too, tall.
Okay. Go. I want to see. You go first.
Oh, goodness. Damn it, man. I like players. Okay, the forward position has evolved a lot. Yeah. It used to be, defensive forwards, offensive forwards, forwards setting screens, getting rebounds. And the game has evolved to where they're spreading the floor a lot more, where they're shooting threes, and where you want a more versatile, wingy type forward. And sticking with my metric, man, I want to go with somebody that's consistent. I know what I'm going to get. High level at their position. And in basketball, it's more important to have someone that is a great team forward than a selfish one, especially in this league.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Aaron Gordon.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to give me Aaron Gordon. He's He had an injury, played through it. His three-point shooting has been unbelievable. He has turned himself into a great three-point shooter. We know that he can rebound. We knew he was athletic, winning dunk contest or competing in dunk contests. He had a couple stole from him, but playing on that team and being kind of the everyman where he could get defensive stops, and you're confident that he's not gonna mess up a game for you. I want to have Aaron Gordon, and even when he is injured, he'll still go out there and give it a go, and you still know what you're going to get out of him. I'm going to take Aaron Gordon, man.
Wow. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, again, I wanted to be true. I wanted to be true to there is no question in your mind that dude is a forward.
Oh, for sure.
There's some centers on that forward list that I could have picked, but I'm not doing it. I'm going with a forward.
Okay. I'm going to go with a forward as well, traditional.
Okay.
And they're old because I think the two best forwards in the league are old.
They are.
And I'm just going to do not a coin flip. I'm just going to go based off of I don't want to look back too far on head to head, but when they ever did go head to head, this guy won.
Who got the
Kevin
edge?
Durant. Yeah, and it's Kevin Durant.
Okay. Yeah,
he's still smooth. He's still balling. 37 years old. I could have went with LaFlop, LeBron, LeBum, James, who is still playing at a high level at his old age. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I'm just going to go with Kevin Durant.
Okay. Yeah, and KD, KD was an option for me. I slipped back on him mainly due to the age. Yeah. And the questionable durability. I know he likes to win, but I couldn't go with him because I know how he gets when things start to go downhill. He goes downhill with him, right?
Yeah,
so
it's true.
So that's the only other thing that kind of stopped me from going with him.
But you know what's funny is, like you said, you talked about centers being considered forwards. I look at some of the guys they can put at guards, and the way they do lineups now, it's kind of like the positions just kind of are almost obsolete now.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, you want to go traditional. I'm gonna go with KD.
Okay.
Either way, it was gonna be him or LeBron James.
Yeah, and they're both traditional forwards. Like I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. We could just cut the shit, man. We go to center. We know who it is. We gotta have the same one.
It's Jokic.
It's Jokic, and this is no disrespect to Wemby. I think Wemby will get there, but for Jokic to have the seasons consistently that he's had, to come into this year to always have that team in contention, and him to be the one true centerpiece of any NBA team, and it's not even a question. Stats are nuts. He can do it all: rebound, pass, shoot, and I don't think he gets a lot of credit for being a good leader. Those guys follow him. They understand that he's the best player and that he's a dominant player without being ball dominant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure what words you have for him, but yeah, I figured that was easy.
Yeah, it's and I think if I could go back and we talked about who our top player in the league was, I think we went with like Giannis.
I went Giannis, yeah. I went Giannis.
Yeah, and I think I agreed, and then again, I think if we had to do that over, we would go with Jokic. But again, that's not to Giannis, like we said, is very consistent every single season. But Jokic, again, he put up 55, 15, and 15 game.
Yeah.
Even though in an overtime, I don't care. That is ridiculous. And like you said, man, he loves horses, but he plays basketball, and he doesn't look like he would be the best player in basketball, but he is.
Yes. Yeah.
And he obviously is. He obviously is the best center. I saw a funny thing. He loves playing against Rudy Gobert. Apparently, the top, alleged top defensive player in the league, which I don't agree with. And again, another night, Rudy Gobert, and he puts up 55, 15, and 15. It was actually 56, 16, and 15, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I saw a stat where, before he had put up like 60, 10, and 10 on him. So, yeah, Jokic, no question.
Yeah.
Easy
no
answer.
question, easy answer. And I'm just going to throw the numbers out. He's averaging 30 points, 60% from the field, 44% from three, 85% from the free throw line, averaging 11 assists and 12 rebounds. That's nuts.
Yes. Averaging a triple double.
Averaging a triple double as
not a guard.
as the heaviest guy on the court at all times that can't jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
give me that guy.
And like you said, he brings the ball up. I mean, like sometimes he's point guard, sometimes he does it all.
Yeah, does it all,
and again,
and might be the least athletic guy on the court in a league that's littered with athletes, and it doesn't matter. He's able to get to every spot, find every guy cutting, loose balls, rebounds, offensive rebounds, putbacks, like you said, walking the ball up, walk up threes. It's insane to watch, man. Without the athleticism in this world's NBA, I think that's what makes it even more impressive.
He is very impressive. So that was easy.
Very easy. How we want to close this out?
I think we want to say we was going to go with who we think our one guy, any sport, any position,
in any sport.
Look into the future and say who is going to be the guy and have a great 2026.
Yes. And how do you want to measure that? Do you just want to go on gut? Do you want to go on instinct? Do you want to go on impact? Like, how do you want to do that?
I think you just have a great season or going to be right up there. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a guy or a player who is like not good now and just all of a sudden it's nothing like that. It's like, who do you think is going to have a great 2026?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That we might find on our list next year, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So this is an educated guess.
Okay.
This is an educated guess based on this player's production, their trajectory, how they've kind of settled in and gotten over the hump this year, and will have more of an opportunity to do so going into 2026. I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
Give me C.J. Stroud. He was a guy who struggled coming into the league. He had a lot of ups and downs. I know there was a thing on him where there were like reports where like people were giving him shit because he was like crying after losing games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he, young guy, definitely. I mean, we're both in our 40s, man. He's a different type of younger quarterback player than what we're used to seeing. So the way he's doing things is just different than what we're used to. But he settled in. He's been able to find a groove and playing well this year. His team is winning games. And I'm just going to get out ahead of it. I don't know what they'll do in the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what next season is going to look like. But I think the franchise they understand that right now they have a franchise quarterback, a guy that can compete at the highest level in the AFC. And I think that they're going to do their best to kind of cultivate and surround him with good talent and good skill position players and a great line. So that way they can get the most out of him and, have Houston have a winning, football franchise team in the state of Texas.
Okay.
So you know who I'm taking a shot at when it comes to that. For them to be able to go out and do it with that guy, I think would be incredibly impressive. So I'm gonna put a hat on him super early and claim CJ Stroud 2026. Let's see what he does.
Okay. I like
it. A little hot takey, but a
little hot
takey.
It's a guy that, like you said, you wouldn't think would have a,
And I think that's what I wanted to go with, where much like how, CJ Stroud is my Cal Raleigh. That's who CJ he's gonna come out of nowhere. Everybody's gonna say that. No. You didn't say it first. I said it first.
Yeah, he's gonna take that next step.
The next leap, and he's gonna catapult himself into one of the top quarterbacks in the league.
I like it.
All the sports,
right.
You got all the sports, man. The world is your oyster.
Yeah, I got two names. I'm going to go with the guy who has been there before. He has an MVP. He is one of the top players in the sport. The team had a down year last year, and he has battled injuries, and I think he's due to have another monster year this coming season or next year, right? A little biased, which both my picks would be biased. So I'm going to go Ronald Acuna Jr.
Okay.
Like I said, he was limited last year. He had to start coming off injury. He started the season late, went through a few things. Again, the team had a down year. So number-wise, it was like, oh, that's a pretty good year. But considering, he had an MVP season, a few years back with the, 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases, I think he's going to be back at that again. So I'm going to say Ronald Acuna Jr. The other name I had was Wimbiana. So I do think he may. If anyone's in any team may, obviously based off this month, could take SGA and the Thunder, it could be them. But I'm just going to go safe pick.
Okay.
Ronald Acuna Jr., Atlanta Braves. I believe he will have another monster year.
Okay, and I will say that not only is your pick, and this isn't an insult, your pick is really, it's going to sound like an insult. Your pick's really safe.
And I told you it's safe, yeah.
It's a safe pick. And the reason why, above anything, I think it's safe is just because the reason why he hasn't been in the running for anything is just due to a lack of availability. He's just been injured. He just hasn't played enough of the games. And if he did, I'm confident that he would be able to kind of put up the numbers that you're used to seeing from him.
Exactly.
So
I just predict he's gonna I'm gonna go with him having a huge year.
A good strong comeback year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back to that MVP form, 40 home runs. I don't know if he'll ever be at 70 stolen bases again, but again, if he around batting 300, 40. If he have a 40-100 season, that would be great.
Okay. All right. No, that's not bad at all. I like that. Didn't see that one coming either. I like that. You want to close us out?
Yep. So that is another episode of Fanatically Speaking. Again, I am Kent, the co-host and promoter.
I am Log Off, the Log Off legend, hater of social media, co-host and producer of the show. Thanks again. This has been another episode of Fanatically Speaking, just kind of an end-of-the-year wrap episode, just going over, just kind of the best names for the 2025 year, from January to December. This is kind of off the cuff, man. I like that we didn't really do a ton of prep. We just kind of went off the dome, and I felt like an asshole for throwing this at you at the last second, but I feel like we handled it well.
Yeah, I mean, we know it. That's the thing is things, topics like this are easy. We watch sports off season. We know who's good and who's not.
Yeah, and I know and I know Aaron Gordon kind of came out of nowhere for you, but no, man, I gotta.
For sure.
Again, if we looked at every single one of my picks, I just had to go with somebody that I felt was going to be consistent, and that's very important to me. I just want to know what I'm going to get from that guy, win or lose, And yeah, and I think they all matched up, and you had great counters for everybody I threw out there, and vice versa. So.
Yep, good stuff. Again, listen to us on all podcast outlets. Follow us and keep up with us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. And the new saying that I thought of, and it's corny and call me whatever, call it a dad joke. But I just want to tell everybody, go out there and tap that app.
Yeah, that's absolutely a dad joke. But I can respect it, and I was like, why is he saying tap that ass? And then you switched it up on me. I was like, I don't know what kid's doing here. What's going on? But it worked.
That app.
Yeah, subscribe, man. Like, share, post, and I guess everybody's doing it from their phone. So I guess technically, it is tap. Or if it's a mouse, you'd have to tap it too. Even though it's technically a click, but you still got to tap it with your finger. So, okay, yeah.
I like tap that app.
Tap that app, yeah, because I was like, I don't know what he doing. No, that fits, man. No, that's it. That's all I got.
All right,
Good.
That's a wrap.
All right,
Yep.
that's clear.